is it that makes a champion? Is it something one is born with, or something one can attain? Is it a willingness to go beyond the expected, to dedicate oneself wholeheartedly to an ideal? Or is it a single step followed by another and yet another in a journey few are willing to take? A true champion is one who goes out of his way to make a difference to others. Becoming a champion is a choice we each face, not unlike the choice of young Napoleon Dzombe as he set out on a journey that would influence the lives of so many along the way.
Now, for the next 30 minutes, I'd like you all to read your tomorrow's assignment. Napoleon, Tembo, you two should be reading your assignments.
I've already finished, sir.
Napoleon, you look troubled.
Well, I was thinking. Some of the fields grow tall, while others remain lifeless. Isn't the ground the same?
The ground might be the same, Napoleon, but much depends on the hands that prepare it, how much they are willing to work.
But why wouldn't you be willing if it brings such good?
Well, you see, Napoleon, the ground can be very difficult at times and requires great effort to work it, just like the effort you take to come to school each day. Not everyone is willing to go so far. You have to take care of the crops, watch over them, stay with them all the way until the harvest. The Creator gives us material to work with, Napoleon, but it's up to each person to choose how he will mold it, okay? Now, why don't you go and start helping others?
The success of one's journey often depends on determination, faith, and a willingness to take each step that needs to be taken. Napoleon's only advantage in life was that he had no advantage. Nothing came without great effort, especially his education. It grew from the learning he gained in the classroom, combined with his daily 24-mile round trip to and from school. It was here that he heard the cries of despair. It was here that he saw his people suffer. It was here that his purpose became clear. And it was here that his mind and heart ultimately became one.
Sir?
Yes, Napoleon. May I help you?
I'm leaving school, sir.
But Napoleon, you're one of my best students.
I know you're disappointed, sir. But this I must do. I've learned much already. I cannot attend school any longer while my family struggle to survive, sir.
But you have 2 years to complete your schooling. Think of where you might go.
I will go where I'm needed, sir. Which is what I must do now. Zikomo, for all you've taught me. Salani Bueno.
In my mind, it seemed such a mistake. But in my heart, I knew it was the step he must take. With nothing but a warm heart and an iron will, Napoleon set out to help his family. His first step was to convince his father he could exchange one of their cows for the possibility of a better life. The small amount he received for the cow was traded for salt. By dividing the salt, he was able to trade farmers for their peanuts, which in turn he sold for a profit. The proceeds were soon reinvested into enough maize seed and fertilizer to plant several acres in a borrowed field.
Muli Bwanji, Napoleon.
Oh, Tembo. Phew, I'm so glad you're here. Please help me lift this.
You quit school for this, to be a poor farmer. Didn't you learn anything?
People have to eat, Tembo. Which means there are great opportunities here. I just want to come with new ideas, ideas that should improve my harvest and maybe my income.
Napoleon, always been the dreamer. But don't forget, you're not better than the rest of us.
Of course I'm not. But I've been thinking, the material is right here. It's as good as other prosperous areas. But you know what's the difference? We don't have anyone to lead us. But where there's a will, there's a way, my friend.
Napoleon, you're just one person. Who's going to listen to you? Our people haven't changed in over 1,000 years.
I think it's about time they move on then, don't you think?
Fine, do what you want. Just know that people are talking about you and these big plans for the future.
People can think what they want. In my heart, I know I can help. At least on a small scale. Somebody's got to do something.
Good luck then, my friend.
You too, Tembo.
Napoleon never returned to school. However, his education didn't end there. He questioned everything. How can I water when there is no rain? How can I increase my harvest? How can I improve our conditions? Year after year, he faced the many setbacks with faith and determination. And through it all, he was blessed with prosperity. As business expanded from crops to trucks, and from trucks to woodwork, and then lumber, he employed as many of his people as he could. Seeing a great need for medical care and supplies in the villages, and having his own lumber, he decided to build a rural hospital. He fittingly called it Blessings. But of all sickness and disease that plagues Malawi, the one plague the hospital could not treat was hunger.
We have no food. Please help her.
The drought of 2001 and 2 was the worst in decades. Thousands fought for their lives. This is where Napoleon's commitment to his people would be most severely tested. With his fundamental belief that God had blessed him with prosperity so he could help his people, he did not hesitate to act. However, as word of his generosity spread, 10 became 100, and 100 became many, many more. It was not uncommon for villagers to walk for days, knowing he was their only hope for food. Everyone came to know and respect the name Napoleon Dzombe. Napoleon soon needed all his workers to help with the daily food distributions, causing his business interest to cease operations. Saving his people had become his highest priority.
Tembo! Tembo! I've been worried about you and your family. Come, let's get something to eat.
I was wrong about you. You are doing much good here.
It's okay. Let's help each other.
Still, as successful as Napoleon had become, he could not carry his people forever. It would be a matter of time before his resources would fail. He could not keep up with the demand, nor could he keep people from dying.
You helped to save me. my daughter. I have no one else left. She's the only thing I have. Please save her. Please.
He had never known an obstacle such as this, one he was simply without strength to remove. It was at this time that I paid Napoleon a visit. My student, who had traveled to foreign lands, built successful businesses, and had done so much for his people. I came looking for my people, but I was told he had disappeared. Disappeared like that day I watched him running away from my schoolhouse. What has happened, Napoleon?
Couldn't watch my people die. I thought I would make a difference, but I could do so little.
Of all the students that I've counseled over the years, you were the one that I mostly wished to succeed. When you left, I wanted to run after you. Not to bring you back, but to go with you. To do the things I knew you would do. And help in the way that I knew only you would.
There are so many in need. And no matter how hard I try, still they come. And still they ultimately die.
You have sown the seeds that will change lives here, Napoleon. It will take time. But your people need you now more than ever.
But I have nothing more to give.
It's not your money they need. It's your vision, your leadership, your example. You still have much to offer, Napoleon. May God bless you, Napoleon, to finish what you have started. It's an interesting thing, the heart of a champion. Even when it is gripped by so much anguish and doubt and fear, still it continues to love. And still it continues to beat. And when others have long since given up hope, it beats for them.
These are such good people. I cannot watch them die. Neither can I leave them to die. I'll finish my work.
Out of darkness into light. Napoleon had taken many steps before in his life. However, the step he took that day would redefine his life's mission and direction. After missionaries in Malawi sent requests for aid, supplies began to pour in. Napoleon became the primary figure in organizing and distributing the much-needed relief. Everyone was required to sit on the ground until each had received his share. There was no pushing or shoving, just equal distributions according to need. But to merely feed and clothe them would not be enough. To ultimately survive and prosper, Napoleon knew they must learn to feed themselves. He implemented new irrigation techniques and set up training farms to teach villagers how to increase their productivity. He provided incentives such as additional articles of clothing to those who followed his programs. As farmers were rewarded, others joined in until thousands were participating. With the help of several contributing organizations, Napoleon completed the hospital and began treating inpatients and distributing needed medical supplies throughout the region. He constructed an orphan village just below the hospital, so the country's many orphans could live in a healthy and loving environment. And he built a vitamin plant which provided vitamin-enriched meals near the hospital as well. He was truly making every effort to raise the standard for his people. And so, my students, please remember to listen to your heart, as did my friend and student Napolean Dzombe. Your contributions, whatever they might be, can make a significant difference to your home and to your community. The heart of a champion, you have it in you. Let it move you forward to become the person you want to be.
When I go to the hospitals, they give gloves. Without him, a lot of nurses would die of HIV/AIDS. Without him, sometimes even us, I go distributing things given by Napoleon. I help a lot of people after being helped by Napoleon.
Iwo anathandiza mudzi ndi mudzi, muri mudzi mwathumunso ena analandirako chimanga chongopatsirwa chaulere kuti anthu athandizikire ndi njala imene inalipo 2002.
Zimene atichitirapo Napolean Dzombe atipatsa madimba cholinga chochepetsako njala kuno kwathu. Nali mvuto la njala momwe sitimadziwa ntchito ya dimba.
Zinthu zimene atichitirapo ni kuyambitsa madimba, ndiye panali vuto la njala lidatha njala imene idachepako chifukwa cha adzombe. Napolean Dzombe tikumthokoza kwambiri kuti akhale ndi moyo wautali kuti mwina angatipatse pulani yoti tizilima kwambiri mu dimba.
Amene anthu athokoza kuti maganizo amenewo asawasiye kutithandiza morelo.
Mathandizo amenewo akuchokera kwa Dzombe kunionetsa kuti dimba ndi chilungamo kuti imachotsa umphawi.
We need more people like Napoleon. That's all I can say.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Napolean Dzombe. Zikomo.
Somebody